20-year-old coming to Toronto with $500 and two big bags. That really paved the way for where I am today. It's engineered means cause and effect. I strongly believe in zero-sum game in business. I win, you win, and we all win. AI has democratized knowledge and technology for anyone with $25 subscription these days. Resilience is not about surviving disruption. It's about adjusting through it.
Today, we are diving into the dynamic world of e-commerce, focusing on how a strategy-led agency is leveraging AI and digital infrastructure to engineer growth for businesses worldwide. Hello everyone, this is Kripa Anand and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, where we explore the strategic insights and innovative solutions empowering Canadian entrepreneurs to thrive in the digital age. Today we are diving into the dynamic world of e-commerce, focusing on how a strategy-led agency is leveraging AI and digital infrastructure to engineer growth for businesses worldwide. In the competitive landscape of digital commerce, success requires a holistic approach anchored in efficiency, scalability, and future readiness. Our guest is a recognized leader in digital strategy and an inspiring immigrant entrepreneur who built his business from the ground up. Joining us today is Waruna Kulawansha, founder and CEO of Six Senses Digital. Waruna is an e-commerce and digital strategy executive with nearly 2 decades of expertise, holding an MBA from the Schulich School of Business. Since its inception in 2016, Six Senses has managed digital portfolios for over 500 plus e-commerce websites. Waruna is also a mentor and community leader, and he hosts the Sixcast podcast, exploring the intersection of business, technology, and human ingenuity. So, before further ado, let's welcome this very special guest. Waruna, welcome to the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Kripa, for having me.
Now, Waruna, your personal journey, firstly, it's incredibly inspiring. You arrived in Toronto with only $500, as we understand, and no network, facing the challenge of starting over from the scratch. So, for our listeners, please go ahead and share what that story was. How did you plan to come up here? And from that, how did you come to open your own company and become an entrepreneur in today's time?
Thank you for that question and for the introduction, Kripa. It was a strenuous journey for a 20-year-old young man coming to Toronto with $500 and two big bags. That's a pretty common story for most immigrants these days. I had no friends at all, no job, and I was sleeping in a bedbug infested community housing for
God.
quite some time. And they say, broken heart and an empty pocket maketh a man. I think I had both at the time. So that really paved the way for where I am today. It was bitter moments, but it really helped me become who I am today.
At that point, did you ever wonder that, maybe Varuna, 4 or 5 years down the line, I'll be starting my own business?
Actually, no. My objective coming to Toronto was to do a couple of things. I wanted to pursue my career. I had a great career, and I wanted to go in the same trajectory,
Right.
And build a family and be happy. That was my main goal, not necessarily to start a business.
Right.
But it came to a point that I think I could, and there was a bit of a story behind it. I got into a good circle of friends who were really motivated, doing the right thing, got lots of mentorship. That was something that I am still today thankful for. Got lots of mentorship to pave the way for my future. It was initially a bit tough, but then I gained momentum. I found a job that I liked, and from there onwards, I met my wife, and we started having a family, having the kids, buying the first house.
Wow.
Everything was going in the kind of right direction for after about a couple of years.
Yeah.
And only after about 5 years, I realized that I'm hitting a plateau. I wanted to do something more with my capabilities, life. And then only I decided to do my MBA. I joined Schulich. It was also, there's a story which I don't want to get into, but getting into Schulich was a great decision of my life. And going into about 3 months into my MBA, I asked my professor, hey, I've been wanting to become an entrepreneur for quite some time. And I have been hesitating. I've been kind of two minds about it. What do you think? Give me some insights. And he said, if you're hesitating and debating, maybe entrepreneurship is not for you. And that kind of set me back a little bit. That comment hit me hard, but at the same time, it gave me the push for me to break through that.
Maybe that is what you needed to hear at that point of time, right?
That's exactly what I thought as well. It was disappointing to hear, but then again, it gave me that push that you wanted.
That's beautiful. Life has its own unique, magical ways, right? That's so good to hear. That's such a powerful and incredibly inspiring origin story, Waruna. One thing is clear, that resilience and resourcefulness are the heart of anyone's success. That's amazing. Now, Varuna, let's explore your core philosophy, that is, growth isn't given, it's engineered. So, from a layman's perspective, firstly, what does this sentence even mean?
Growth isn't given, it's engineered, means cause and effect, fundamentally. I come from a physics background, and I believe in cause and effect. There has to be a cause to be created in order for you to see result. Philosophically as well, I strongly believe in creating the cause in order for you to be able to see the impact of that. It could be as simple as you need to having to plant a seed for you to be able to crop the harvest. So in my belief, setting up that expectation in terms of setting up the foundation is critically important for you to be able to see the result. My belief in engineering the growth is about creating value for all parties involved. I strongly believe in non-zero-sum game in business. I win, you win, and we all win. It is something I strongly believe in. In order, from a digital standpoint and infrastructure standpoint, what I believe is you have to create value for a business function and a team in order for you to be able to see the desired ROI. It could be more sales, could be more revenue, profitability, or even efficiency. You have to fix internally rather than looking from outside in. Oh, I want to grow my business. How can you do that without people? It's about creating that genuine value for your people, for internal teams, as well external staff as well, so you can see the long-term results of your business.
That's very
journey.
well articulated, Varuna, because one of the signs that when we are growing is that when our team is growing with us, right? And that is the moment when you realize that it is something magical is about to happen. It's clear that repeatable, scalable systems are the true foundation of long-term sustainable growth. That's amazing. You also believe that AI is no longer optional for businesses, right? And it's so true, because for any business, if they haven't used AI even till in today's day and age, they're already behind.
Yep.
So, how can Canadian SMEs, because majority of our listeners are owners of small and medium sized businesses, for them, how can they use AI to the best of their capabilities? Because they're also not very extravaganza on their budgets because they have limited resources. So, from that perspective, please go ahead and educate our listeners about that.
That's a great question, Kripa, especially in today's age where AI has democratized knowledge and technology for anyone with $25 subscription these days. So you are not looking at a Silicon Valley budget or a full data science team to implement your AI initiative. You can start simple, but start with clarity. You need to understand deep understanding of your business status quo. What's your business? What business are you in?
Right.
How you want to serve? What are the frustration points your clients are facing? And as well, your team, critically important. You need to understand what challenges they are facing, what is taking majority of the time but generating less ROI. Right. What are the mundane tasks? Have that clarity. It's understanding the problem is 50% of the business problem solved.
Yes. Once
Business
you recognize
101
what the problem is.
is a strategy 101.
Wow.
And I strongly believe that's the way that you can start creating value by understanding that different business functions. Again, when you're transforming the business, it's not just a tech project. It's a journey. It has to be done in different phases as well. When you understand single bottleneck, try to solve that problem and build it from there. And for small businesses or medium-sized businesses, you don't have to look at investing into hundreds of thousands of dollars to solve problems. You fix one bottleneck through simple tools. It could be ChatGPT, it could be Microsoft Copilots. You can bring in Google Workspace,
right.
Jasper, Canva. There's so many tools that you can bring into play without having to invest into the entire infrastructure.
Yes.
And start from there. Fix one problem at a time and then take it from there without having to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to use the AI as an enabler to replace tasks as replacing humans.
Definitely, that makes complete sense. Once AI is taking care of the repetitive tasks, we humans will have more time and capacity in our brain to make strategic decisions, right? That makes complete sense. It's amazing. Hello, Canadian entrepreneurs. Are you looking for strategies to thrive in the age of AI? Learn from Waruna Kulawansha, founder and CEO at Six Senses Digital, about practical AI adoption, how to engineer growth, and what it takes to build a resilient, future ready e commerce business. Now, let's continue our conversation with Varuna. All right, it's time for a quick break right here, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, Varuna will share the key pillars of AI transformation and how businesses can build a strong foundation for digital growth and long term success. Stay tuned.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back, listeners. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Now, let's continue our conversation with Varuna. Also, on that note, I'd like to ask you, Varuna, what do you think are the pillars of digital transformation? You mentioned that there are three of them. So please go ahead and explain each one of them for our listeners.
Sure. The core pillars of digital transformation starts with people,
Mhm.
and then strategy and technology,
Mm.
and in that exact order.
Mm.
What people need to understand is digital transformation or AI transformation is a human journey.
Yeah.
When you solve human problems, you naturally solve business problems. Sometimes we all forget because people are drawn to shiny objects, or platforms, AI models, shiny sales pitches,
Yeah.
enticing sales calls, vendor overpromises. You chase, naturally the shiny objects.
Yeah.
You instead want to step back and try to understand what's am I trying to solve here?
Mm.
Is it going to impact the business? That's great.
Mm.
But who are the players in the business? They're the people. You need to understand people. You need to understand their friction points, pain points, frustration points. They are day to day. What's taking up their time?
Right.
How can you repurpose some of the cost centers into something that can generate more value? So
Mm.
that is understanding of people, critical. Number two is strategy.
Mm.
Direction before acceleration. You need to know where you're going
Yes.
before you accelerate.
Yeah.
You need to understand what are your ROI goals? What's your roadmap? What are the milestones? Who's supporting you? Who's your team?
Mm.
Who are your AI or transformation champions?
Mm.
You need to have people rooting for you when you are making the changes. Right now, you have the strategy, which is the direction, the
Right.
vision. Lastly, the technology.
Mm.
Now, as you can see, technology comes last.
Yeah.
You understand people and their problems. You understand your vision and the ROI goals. And lastly,
Then technology.
the technology.
Yeah.
You need to understand first two in order for you to be able to research and adopt the
Yeah.
technology as opposed to starting the other way around. I see many businesses, big or small, have been making this mistake from the day one. It's natural because you are busy with in day to day, and you think you chase after this shiny tool, thinking that it is going to solve my problems.
Yeah.
I like to use this metaphor for businesses. Businesses are like a submarine underwater.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand you can make a 180-degree directional change instantly. You have to have the right people in the submarine and understand the requirement for them to change the direction, number one, and clients and your staff. Number two, you need to know where you're going. Strategy set the direction.
Yeah.
And lastly, use AI and other technologies as the enabler or the engine for you to make the direction, as opposed to making just random turns and don't know where you're going.
Yeah. No, that's also a very powerful reminder that all that glitters isn't gold, right?
Yep.
We of humans are, attracted towards the shinier objects, but we need to step back and think it through. So thank you so much for that reminder, Varuna. With these pillars in place, businesses are better equipped to drive innovation and thrive in an increasingly digital world. That's amazing. I also understand, Varuna, that you are a guest lecturer at the University of Toronto and a two-time mentor for the Schulich Tech MBA cohort. Your commitment to community building is clear, and kudos to everything that you've achieved so far. Um, what advice do you have for the younger generation, the younger professionals in an AI-driven world? And let's do a little time travel. If I were to give you a time machine, say we were to travel 5 or 7 years into the future, when we get out of that time machine, how exactly do you imagine things around you changing?
I for an advice to young professionals, as for any professional these days, is about staying open-minded, which is critical. We are at an age where education and knowledge expires much faster than ever before. what you learn today may not be applicable tomorrow or not be valid tomorrow. So you have to stay open and agile to be able to absorb more and make changes faster. You don't have to necessarily box yourself into a singular function. Instead, you should be able to pivot yourself and be multidisciplinary. The key skill that I would recommend people having is learning fast. Learn fast and unlearn if you have to, which is critical, and relearn if you have to as well. That is something I wanted to share with anybody, and especially those who I mentor as well. When I share my guest speeches at universities and different other places, something I say is, don't let you be your own enemy of the knowledge that you have gathered, your own enemy. There are lots of developers who are engineers, or some of them are engineers. They are bound by their own beliefs and learning that is preventing them from growing further.
Yeah. That's so true, and that's such a powerful reminder. I'm loving this conversation, Waruna, and definitely I'd love for you to come back so we can dive into such deeper discussions. But before we let you go for now, if there's one piece of final advice that you have for our listeners today, something that you want them to remember about building a resilient, transformative business, what would you tell them and why?
For Canadian businesses, or any businesses, Kripa, resilience is not about surviving disruption. It's about adjusting through it. Most businesses that are succeeding today are not necessarily the businesses that with the highest budgets, biggest brand names behind them, or the biggest name CEOs. The businesses that are nimble, open, and have a curious mind, curious leadership, that are trying to do things and adopt technologies to improve themselves. And you should start with people. You should understand, again, going back to the same philosophy, start with people, and set the direction and use technology as the enabler and a multiplier instead of making it a magic wand.
That's such a powerful message, Waruna. This was one of the most candid conversations I've had in a while. So thank you so much for that. It was just amazing. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Kripa.
All right, that was an insightful conversation with Waruna Kulawansha, founder and CEO at Six Senses Digital, on his journey from a newcomer to a successful founder. The meaning behind his growth isn't given, it's engineered philosophy. The practical ways Canadian entrepreneurs can thrive in the age of AI and the future of e-commerce, and the value of mentorship and community. To all of our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. We really appreciate your continued support. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. Also, don't forget to visit our website, CanadianSME.ca. And lastly, a very special thank you to our podcast partners, RBC, UPS, A1 Global College, ADP, and Google, for their ongoing commitment to empowering SMBs in Canada. So until next time, keep innovating and striving for success, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.